Welcome back to Ben Leo Tonight, only on GB News. Time now for Leo Unleashed, where I drag my backside out of the studio and travel around the UK to see what life is like in your communities. This week, I visited the street whose residents speak the least amount of English in the whole of the UK. Can you guess which city it might be in? Take a watch. This week in Unleashed, I've come to the city of Leicester, and particularly this very special street. It's called Morningington Street because it's home to the fewest number of English speakers in the entire UK. 43%, nearly half of the residents here, speak little to no English. We're just doing a little piece on Morningington Street. Did you see that it's home to the fewest number of English speakers?
Speak English.
Oh, you don't speak English?
Portuguese.
Are you Portuguese?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Hello, sorry to bother you. No English?
No English.
Oh, okay. There was a little cat in the window there. I wonder if he speaks English. Hello, puss. Hello, buddy. Oh, he's meowing. I guess the big question now is, off the back of Sir Keir Starmer's Island of Strangers speech, you know, does he potentially have a point? Hello, sir. Sorry to bother you. How are you? Ben from GB News. We're just doing a little piece on your street. I don't know if you heard that it's home to the fewest number of English speakers in the UK. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know? Do you speak English?
No,
Ah.
I am Gujarati man.
Okay.
Hindi and Gujarati.
Indian?
Indian.
Indian, okay. When did you come to the UK?
10 years.
And you haven't learnt English in that time?
No, I learned it.
Difficult?
Difficult.
Yeah, okay, all right. What do you do for work? Do you mind me asking? Work?
Yeah, work.
Yeah. What do you do?
Conference is several company.
Oh, what, sorry?
Conference.
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 And you don't need English for that? English not difficult, not speaking?
No, I sometimes English no.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Sorry to bother you. Cheers. So at the top of Morningington Street, I'm going to give you a bit of colour on the main road here. There's a Palestine flag over there with some graffiti on. And if we spin round here, there's some big advertising billboards, not your normal mobile phone ads or supermarket ads. We've got Rebuild Syria. I think this is a sort of charity scheme to send money for prisoners and homes and emergency kits in Syria. And then if you look here to the right, it's again another charity campaign, this time for, I think it's orphans in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, so on and so on. Hello sir, Ben from GB News. How are you? Have you got 2 seconds? Did you live on the street?
Yeah.
Did
Well,
you?
I can't speak English.
Sorry? Don't speak English?
Yeah.
Okay. You speak English? No. No? Okay. Thank you.
I do know that Leicester is quite a multicultural place, but I do know that in my specific area, there's not a lot of people that do speak English.
Is that a problem, do you think?
I think, yeah, I mean, you know, the whole point of being part of Great Britain is that we integrate into society, and I think that's very important, especially in my culture as well. But yeah, I can see it being a wider and a much more bigger problem as time progresses. And, you know, my mum came to this country about 30, 40 years ago, and she can speak quite fluently. She's very proud to be part of this country and this nation that gave her opportunities. So I think that as an excuse is not particularly great. I do think it's detrimental. I think, you know, whilst we are a very multicultural society, I think it's important that we respect the law of the land, and I think learning English as a minimum is very important for us to be able to integrate.
So we are unfortunately going to have to cut short our visit to Morningington Street because one of the locals has been getting a little bit aggy. He's been texting on his phone and giving us some jip. So before any trouble kicks off, we're going to scarp up. Hello, sir. Sorry to bother you. Ben from GB News. Have you got two seconds? You speak English? No. Okay. Thank you. There we go, Morningington Street in Leicester, the street with the fewest number of English speakers in the entirety of the UK. Peter Blexley, your quick thoughts, please.
Do you remember some politicians went down on one knee and held posters saying refugees welcome? You should have taken them to Morningington Street with you and said, how's the integration going? How is it with all these people flooding into the UK from all corners of the earth? How is it going?
Linda?
The thing is that learning English is absolutely fundamental I did run a 6-month EU-funded programme teaching contextualised English because I believe in that so much. You can have no integration without people learning to speak our language properly.
Paul Richards, that guy had been here 10 years and hadn't learnt English. He said it was too difficult.
People should learn English, but I mean, the British royal family spoke German for 300 years, didn't they? We've always had immigrants and they've spoken different languages. Well, because immigrants speak a different language when they arrive and then they should learn English.
He's been here a decade.
Generations, well, he should have learned English.
Paul, that guy had been here a decade.
He should have learned English.
He's a nice guy, but he didn't speak English. He's been here a decade.
But that's why they should be speaking English. But the point is, when people arrive here, whether it's Huguenots or Danes or anybody else, they speak a different language.
Welcome back to Ben Leo tonight, only on GB News. Much more to come, including the Great British Strike that was held today all across Britain. We've got some fantastic footage of that to show you. But time now for a roundup of the biggest stories from the United States. And as we've already been talking about, US-based political firebrand Charlie Kirk crossed back across the pond after his whistle-stop tour of Britain this week, which included a landmark interview with this channel. But he doesn't seem that impressed by the direction our country is taking. He's told his audience that he believes the UK has fallen. Take a look.
UK is very important to talk about, not just because what's happening in the UK, but also the ramifications here is the UK culturally felt like America before Donald Trump went down the golden escalator. They're in the abyss, but culturally, there is this kind of silent, are we allowed to say this? Are we allowed to challenge this? Are we allowed to talk about this? Are we allowed to question this?
Well, joining me live in the studio for his London debut, normally he's down the line from Manhattan, is the journalist and author Nelson Aspin. Nelson, welcome to London.
Thank you. It's a triumphant return to London.
Good to see your return to London. You're here, of course, promoting your new book about it's your Titanic romance novel. We'll talk about that in just a second. You've got a big book signing tomorrow. First of all, though, we had your US comrade Charlie Kirk here this week. You saw what he had to say about the state of Britain right now. What's your impression of Britain? You've been here a few days. What do you guys think of the UK from stateside?
Well, and I try to spend as much time as possible here. This is the first time since COVID, but he makes some excellent points. The whole idea of free speech, it's fine, but when political correctness came into the equation, which was a well-intended offer to be kinder, to be more sensitive to things. But political correctness over the years has taken on a life of its own where you have to consider anything you dare say. Meanwhile, I checked my social media this morning and I was the recipient of hate speech, which is very unusual. It struck me as odd, but I was able to report it.
So someone DM'd you a message?
Someone DM'd me a death threat, wishing the exact words were, "Die soon, you sexually offensive expletive. Die, you rotten parasite."
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, look at my social media. You know, it's a friendly, it's a happy place. But that is the kind of thing where I felt threatened by that. So I blocked him, I reported him. But expressing your opinion about world events in the state of the Union is certainly formidable. It's a good thing.
What do you make of Donald Trump, your president, sending 5 State Department officials over to the US to report?
I think it shows his level of commitment to the United Kingdom and his affection for your country. We've talked about this a lot of time. He is a great Anglophile. He loves your country. He wants to be partners with England, for sure.
Some people say, though, Nelson, you're American, just keep your interference to yourself. Donald Trump, just stay in the US, deal with your own country. What do you say?
Well, then if they do that, then they're accused of being xenophobes. So, whatever, you can't win. But yes, I don't want to meddle in your politics any more than I want you meddling in mine. But it doesn't mean we can't have similar views and similar goals.
Well, let me tell you, I think you saying you don't want us meddling in your politics and vice versa. In actual fact, I think things are getting to a point in the UK now where we are looking to the likes of President Trump, to American conservatives, to White House staff, to help us out, because, put pressure on the government. And I know it sounds hypocritical, because when Obama came here and said, you're going to be back of the queue if you Brexit for a trade deal, and we were complaining about it, I think things have changed now. We're in a different era. Briefly, what do you make of Donald Trump's tariffs on the EU, 50% if they don't sort things out by June the 1st?
I think they will sort things out, because this is his method. Nothing is set in stone with our president. There is always a negotiation to be had. So I would be surprised if it actually comes through as he's threatening it to come through.
Can I ask you, of course, we went for lunch, but I was in New York for election night, and the swing in New York across the 5 boroughs to Donald Trump and the Republicans was massive. I think it was a record in decades. What's your perception of how voters feel in New York about Donald Trump? Are people happy with President Trump?
In general, in my world, in Manhattan, no. However, we have to also look outside of the city, outside of the metropolitan area, and into the suburbs where people have children getting on the school bus, and there are terrible problems with crime and illegal immigration, which has dramatically been cut down since Trump has come into office. But you will see this. We're facing a mayoral election in New York City. We're going to be facing a gubernatorial election coming up for the state. And we are seeing, if not drifts to the right, certainly to the middle, Ben.
Yeah, good. Well, it makes a change from the far, far left, as you'd see, probably in lots of parts of Manhattan.
Middle of the road. When did middle become bad?
If you don't mind me saying so myself. Right, so, Nelson, you're here on a whistle-stop tour because you've got a brand new book out. You're doing a signing tomorrow where?
I am at Brasserie Zedel in beautiful Piccadilly tomorrow from 1 to 4 in the afternoon, signing and talking about Kindred Spirits, A Titanic Tale. And then it's off to Belfast, the birthplace of Titanic.
Oh, great. So, look, here's the book here. I've got the first copy hot off the press. Tell us what it's about. What is your sort of obsession with the Titanic?
Well, everybody, I was telling someone backstage there, the 3 most recognizable words in the English language: God, followed by Coca-Cola, followed by Titanic. Everybody has some connection to Titanic. Mine is with a first-class passenger named Milton, who passed away on that fateful night at the age of 29. So I've imagined what his life would be like had he not passed away. And I've created a bit of history with a bit of mystery.
Wow.
And we track down his unrequited love.
Excellent. Well, thank you for my copy. I'll get stuck into it.
It's very naughty. Don't leave it near the children.
It's naughty. It's what, ex-racist?
Jackie Collins told me once, she said, anything you write, you have to put a dose of sex in. Because even if people pretend to be offended, they still want to read it.
No, that's fine. I'll take some of that. I'm no prude. Just talking of the Titanic, did you see a few days ago, you know the submarine that went down to observe the Titanic? Was it the Titan?
The Titan.
They released, we've got a clip actually, they released a few days ago the moment the wife of the OceanGate CEO, OceanGate was the company who made the sub, she heard the bang, which was the sub imploding underwater. Let's take a look at this clip.
Footage they recently discovered from Titan's support ship has been submitted as evidence for their investigation.
You will hear a noise that is external to the ship, or external to the room, I should say, and you will see their reaction to the noise.
Stockton Rush's wife Wendy is waiting for messages from the sub as it nears the sea floor.
What was that about?
So at that point you said, what was that bang?
Poor, chilling, eh, Nelson?
Heartbreaking. I mean, 100 years later, and the Titanic is still luring people to their deaths. And this is the problem with Titanic tourism. We don't need it now. Dr. Robert Ballard, the oceanographer who discovered the wreck in 1985, he said we have enough artificial intelligence now to recreate everything we need. We don't need to put people's lives at risk. People shouldn't be spending millions of dollars to go down there, which is essentially the grave site of 1,500 people.
Yeah, indeed. Nelson, thank you very much. Just remind our viewers what your book's called and where you are tomorrow.
Kindred Spirits, A Titanic Tale, and I'll be at Brasserie Zedel tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you, my friend.
Bloody
I really
Mary's
appreciate
on me.
seeing you in the studio. Thank you. Makes a change from down the line. Great stuff.